What if all humans jumped at the same time? Let's imagine that someone organizes the world's largest flash mob ever. Every single person on Earth, that's over 8 billion of us, agrees to jump at the exact same second. No stragglers, no excuses, no one stuck in traffic. For simplicity, let's say we all gather in one huge open field somewhere, shoulder to shoulder, like a gigantic festival crowd, waiting for the countdown. 3, 2, 1, and then everyone bends their knees and leaps. What happens? At first glance, it sounds like the Earth itself should notice. 8 billion people all leaving the ground at once must make some kind of impact, right? After all, together we weigh about 400 million tons, the equivalent of almost 1,100 Empire State Buildings. Surely that's enough to make the planet wobble, maybe even nudge it out of orbit. Unfortunately for anyone hoping for a science fiction earthquake, the Earth barely notices. Let's do the math. The mass of our planet is about 6 times 10 to the 24th kilograms. Compared to that, the combined weight of humanity is a rounding error, like tossing a pebble onto a freight train. Even if everyone jumped as high as they could, the push on the Earth would be so tiny it wouldn't change its orbit by even a billionth of a millimeter. The planet would keep spinning, blissfully unaware of our coordinated stunt. But that doesn't mean nothing happens. Locally, things would get weird. Picture billions of shoes stomping the ground in unison as we all land again. The sound wave alone would be deafening, the loudest thud in history, echoing across continents. It might not register on seismographs as a global earthquake, but nearby sensors would definitely pick it up. Geologists would have a field day explaining why the entire planet decided to do a squat jump at once. The real chaos, though, comes from logistics. If everyone gathers in one place, the crowd density would be impossible to survive. Each person needs about half a square meter of space just to stand, which means our field would have to be the size of several countries. Even then, food, water, and toilets would become humanity's greatest challenge. Forget the jump. The bathroom lines alone would collapse civilization. So maybe instead we stay where we are and just jump wherever we live. That avoids the festival nightmare, but it still creates a new kind of disaster. Imagine every city street, every stadium, every sidewalk packed with people suddenly bending their knees and springing upward. Cars crash into each other because drivers can't resist joining the stunt. Airplanes in midair? Hopefully, pilots don't participate. Skyscrapers full of office workers? The buildings themselves wouldn't care, but the sudden synchronized thumping might break a few windows. And then there's the after-jump moment. When everyone comes crashing down, the energy released is enormous. Roughly speaking, a person of average weight falling back to the ground releases about 200 joules of energy. Multiply that by 8 billion, and you get around 1.6 trillion joules, about the energy of 400 kilotons of TNT, or a third of the Hiroshima bomb. Don't panic. That energy is spread out across the entire globe, so no single place gets vaporized. But local areas, especially crowded cities, would shake, creak, and maybe even see some unlucky buildings collapse if they were already fragile. And the funniest part? After all that planning, the Earth doesn't move at all. When we jump upward, we push the planet slightly the other way, but when we land, we give the energy right back. The net effect cancels out. In the end, the Earth shrugs off our greatest attempt to budget, as if swatting away a mosquito. So what's the ultimate conclusion of this absurd thought experiment? If all humans jumped at the same time, the planet wouldn't notice, but we definitely would. Cities would tremble, eardrums would explode from the collective thud, and humanity would spend the next few days repairing broken glass and telling stories about where I was when the whole world jumped. It would be the biggest, loudest, most pointless workout session in history. And maybe that's the real takeaway. Our species can't move the earth with our muscles. But if we can get 8 billion people to do something together, even something as silly as a jump, imagine what we could accomplish if we chose to act in unison for something important.